I mean, it's such a good game as is, but like, what if we just added a little something extra to it? Oh yeah, I like where this is heading. Hey guys, it's CIU Dad, and you're probably wondering, why do I hear this sweet melodious voice today? Well, if you watch the rest of the videos on my channel, you know that I normally don't do this. Most of them are silent, meme-filled garbage, frankly. So I decided today I wanted to try something a little bit different. So we're going to be looking at some mods for Skyrim that are specifically inspired by the Lord of the Rings franchise. It's a favorite franchise of mine. Anyone who's a fantasy fan probably loves Lord of the Rings. If you don't, why? It's great. So we're going to look at some mods today that specifically add in Lord of the Rings content, ranging from followers, equipment, and locations. There is a lot to get into today. I will have a list of all the mods that are used in the description below so that you can use these yourself. I am recording this on the Xbox One, and I'm not recording this live. This is me speaking over pre-recorded footage. So let's just get into it. So one of the first things you're going to notice as we are on this carriage ride to Helgen, which, by the way, we're going to skip most of the Helgen intro, is that Ralof and Ulfric Stormcloak's armor is a little different, and that's because of another mod I have installed that isn't directly related to Skyrim. I'll talk about it more later. But basically it just changes the armor of all of the hold guards to be a little bit more unique, and it also changes the Stormcloak Rebellion's armor as well. Here we are at the character customization. Why is there a horse on the left side of the screen? I don't know. It's a Bethesda game. It's buggy as crap. When trying to make a character, I tried my best to base it off of Aragorn. Normally I pride myself on the ability to make video game characters or custom characters look like actors or certain celebrities. This is not my best work. But you know what? Who cares? We're going to be staring at the back of his head the whole time. But as we get into this, I'm just going to talk a little bit more about what this video is going to be. In addition to the different mods that are going to be found, I'm going to talk a lot about some Easter eggs in the game as well. Oh, so this is another one of the mods I have installed. Now, I used this back whenever I did my Skyrim meme video, and basically what it does is it replaces all the bandits in the game with Uruk-hai. It force changes the bandits to be orcs, it adds Uruk-hai armor and puts them in it, and well yeah, obviously I'm going to use that for a Lord of the Rings video. So real quick while we're here, we're going to go ahead and take a closer look at some of the Uruk-hai armor. Now, this mod, I believe, adds 3 different sets of Uruk-hai armor into the game. This is just the base armor. It does look a little weird on humans because it was specifically designed for orc characters. But, gosh, just look at it. It's amazing. You got all these different weapons, the shields. Big props to whoever created this. Now, if you don't know, on Console Edition, it does not tell you the original publisher or the original creator of the mod, only the publisher. This is a second mod here. We're going to skip ahead a little bit, and it just adds a bunch of shields to the game. We're not going to be using any right now, but I might come back to some of them later. And also, these are some character outfits for another specific mod that, again, we're going to talk about later in the video. But you can kind of see it here. I'm trying to make the ranger clothes to create Aragorn. And here they are. So this is Aragorn's specific armor. It's called the Ranger Clothes. Here you can kind of get a good look at it. Really wish I could get like a better view of the whole thing. It has this hood, which, by the way, you can take the hood off. I really wish I had a cape. I need to find if there's a way to get one. So I'm recording this separate from the rest of the video, but I realized if you leave the game sitting, the camera does this lazy Susan effect around your character. So now you can get a better look at Aragorn's armor as a whole, as well as the rest of the cheat room that I use. And now we're going to talk about the first Lord of the Rings Easter egg that can be found in the game, and it is actually the city of Whiterun as a whole. So it's the first major town you come across in the, well, first major city you come across in the game. There is Riverwood, but the whole town was actually modeled after Edoras, which is the capital of Rohan in the Two Towers movie. This was an intentional choice that Bethesda made. It's not just a coincidence. You can see the city is built on a hill with the castle up there in the Cloud District, which I don't get to very often. And then obviously it's sitting on the plains, and it very much so evokes the images of Rohan from that movie. I'll have a picture on screen so you can kind of compare the two and see what I mean. Alright, so now we're going to get into the first of several different weapon mods that I installed, and this one is Strider's Sword. So, it adds Aragorn's sword that he used for a majority of the films into the game. It can be found naturally in the world at the Silent Hills camp, or Silent Moon camp, I can't remember, I want to say Silent Moon. But that camp is located just north of Whiterun if you want to go find it, like I said, naturally in the world. I think it's a little bit better than like a steel sword, but if you don't want to go through the hassle of finding it, which is in this little underground cave, you can craft it at a blacksmith's forge, just like most other weapons. Speaking of crafting, this is probably a good time to bring up another non-Lord of the Rings related mod that I have installed that I've been using, and that is the Cheat Room mod. So some of you might already know what it is, but for those of you who don't, basically what it does is it just adds a spell that will teleport you to a room that contains basically every item that can be found within Skyrim. Every weapon, every piece of armor, every piece of crafting material. And I've just been using that to quickly gather the crafting material I need to forge some of the weapons and mods and armors that are in this video. So I'm not exactly cheating, but kind of, but we're just going to let it slide. Okay, here's something else really cool that I did not realize whenever I was making this video. So remember how earlier on I mentioned I had a mod installed that changes the armor of all the different hold guards? Well, it turns out that mod actually gives all of the Whiterun guards armor that is modeled after Rohan, so just continuing that Lord of the Rings trend. I didn't even know that was the case when I downloaded the mod. Also, while we're here in Whiterun, we have one more Lord of the Rings Easter egg. So whenever you go to tell them about the dragon that was at the start of the game, you have several dialogue options, and the one here we're going to choose is Riverwood calls for the Jarl's aid. And this is, of course, a reference to Return of the King when the beacons of Gondor are lit, and Aragorn comes to Theoden, King of Rohan, and says that Gondor calls for aid. Okay, now we're going to get into the really good stuff. So the next several mods we're going to look at actually add the entire Fellowship of the Ring into the game as followers who will aid you in all of the quests that there are. So most of them are located in Whiterun. So here in the Bannered Mare Tavern you can find Boromir. And remember earlier how there was we were looking at the forge and they had the different armor sets that you could acquire. Well, this is the mod that adds those into the game. So here we got Gandalf, Gimli, and Legolas are here as well, with different recolored armors to make them look honestly pretty good. The voices are a little off, but they're pulling it from the game. And the hobbits are also here. A little glitch coming up because, yeah, so they resized all the hobbit models, but when they sit down, they default back to their usual size, so you get very, very funny moments like that. So now you've seen, we have the whole Fellowship. Merry and Pippin actually have their Gondor and Rohan armor on. While I do have some plans to kind of just run around and have fun with the Fellowship, real quick we're going to put the brakes on that and show off two more armor mods. So this is the first one here. It is the Gondorian armor set. So just like the Uruk-hai, I think it adds 3 different pieces of Gondor armor into the game, as well as a vast array of weapons and shields. So here I've got the sword and the shield. There's Gondorian arrows, which I have on my back. Later on I'm going to pull out a spear, which is not a weapon in the base game of Skyrim, but they actually implemented it pretty well here. So I'm just going around. Also, you'll probably notice that these bandits are no longer Uruk-hai. And this is time to mention another roadblock you can sometimes run into with mods, and that's that they cancel each other out. So I had the Cloaks of Skyrim mod installed, which just adds capes to the game. But when it's active, it actually overrides the Uruk-hai armor. And while all the bandits are still orcs, they do not wear the orc armor. So I'm going to deactivate that later in the video, but now you can kind of see it's here. Oh, trick shot. I'm so good at video games. So yeah, that is the Gondorian armor. Now the next one, oh boy, the next one is a treat. So, we have had a lot of good guy stuff. Now it's time for the villains to shine. So here I've got the Sauron armor set. Now this actually requires the ebony crafting skill, which is something you don't get till the late game typically, but cheap mod, got all the supplies I needed and got the equipment now. It's really powerful armor. It looks great. It is weird because it kind of, the character model kind of disappears, because if you look inside the helmet, it's completely empty. Why is that the case? I don't know. Maybe it's a glitch. This game's kind of known for that. But it just looks so neat as you're running around, taking out these, what are they, mages, magicians, whatever. I've played this game for so long, you think I know what they're called. Also, one more thing I did with the cheap mod here is you might notice Sauron looks a little bit heftier than the typical characters in the game. And for you Lord of the Rings nerds, I know you'll like this. I actually used the cheat room mod to make Sauron a little bit bigger. Alright guys, here we go. We're gonna get the whole fellowship together, and first we're gonna Frodo, you're
lead the way.
Your legs, you're kind of phasing. Man, that ring really does have weird powers. Alright guys, well here we go. We have the entire Fellowship of the Ring here with us. We have all 9 members. And for anyone who's played base game Skyrim, you know you're not supposed to have 9 members at a time, so we are using a mod that lets us have multiple followers. Everyone's here, they've got weapons, but I'm not gonna lie, I really don't like the weapons they have. I mean, heck, that sword's almost as big as they are, so why don't we get some new ones? So now we're going to look at the next and the biggest, and in my opinion, the best weapon mod there is in Skyrim as a whole, but also just Lord of the Rings themed. So in order to access this mod, we have to climb the Throat of the World, which is the biggest mountain in Skyrim. It's kind of right in the dead center of the map. You come here a lot for the main quest line, but we're not taking part in the main quest line. We're only going halfway up the mountain to that little structure over there, which you can see off to the left. That is not normally there, and that is because it is the Moon Forge. Now, the Moon Forge is added in with a mod called, I believe, is Silmaril's Weapons mod, and it basically adds all sorts of weapons from the Lord of the Rings franchise into the game. That's where I got the Sauron's mace I used earlier, and that's where we're going to get a lot of the weapons and gear for our characters here. So here we go. It's a nice little setup. Even got a grindstone if you wanted to improve these weapons. But so yeah, these are the only ones that are here. And I'm going to kind of go through all of them, let you get a good look. We're not going to make all of them because we don't need all of them, because like you see there's Morgul Blade, Sauron's mace, the Witch King's sword, and obviously we don't have those guys in our little party here. But we do have hobbits, and we've got the rest of the Fellowship, so we're going to make some of these weapons. And as you can see, sometimes you need another weapon to create a weapon. So you need Sting in order to create Spiderbane, which is basically just a more powerful version of Sting, and it looks a little bit nicer. Also here we have Anduril, which comes in both 1- and 2-handed variants. And we're going to use this to make another weapon real quick. Real quick, I really beg the forgiveness of all the Lord of the Rings fans out there real quick. I said the wrong sword. It is Narsil. Narsil was the first sword, and that's the one I ended up making. And you use it and bring it to a forge here, and you can get the shards of Narsil, which basically just turns it into a knife, a dagger weapon, which I find very funny. So we're going to have that in Aragorn's offhand. Maybe we'll fix it and make Arnaril, which is the reforged version. I do remember that now. Please don't kill me. And also we're going to get some equipment for Boromir, some shields, and also some weapons for him using the Gondor mods, just because I think it'll look pretty cool, just kind of having the whole complete set. So yeah, here's some of the other weapons. The Sword of the Tower Guard. That's another one. There's Tower Guard weaponry. Here you go, I'm holding Narsil, or the shards of Narsil, in my offhand. You can see it in first person. It looks really neat. Also, everyone has their weapons here. Frodo's got Sting, Legolas had his bow, Gandalf over here has Glamdrin, and then the hobbits have weapons. Boromir has his shield and a Gondorian sword. And Gimli, that axe is what looks closest to Gimli's normal axe, but I'm going to give him a different axe because of a particular enchantment it has. I'm going to give him Wuthrand, and if you know what the enchantment is, I think you'll get the joke, but it still looks really cool. So let's just, let's go on from here. Alright, gentlemen, while we're all here, I'm going to have you all pull your swords out in unison together. Beautiful, and now put them back. Oh, we're going to have so much fun with this. Now we've done it, we have the full fellowship with us, and I'm going to kind of let them... I'm going to show off how they fight, how it works having 9 members on your team, and Aragorn's Naruto running over here. So yeah, here's a skeleton, and so okay, here comes Gandalf, and you'll notice he has a staff, but also you saw the spell he has. I can't believe this. His staff actually comes with the Fos Roda shout effect, so it's just blasting people left and right. Okay, let's change pace a little bit and look at a location mod. And this one here, what it does is it adds the location of Weathertop to the game. It's on the map. It even comes with the map marker preloaded. It's just to the west of Whiterun. There's not really much here. It's kind of just built on top of a hill that already exists, but it's just the little things. This looks so cool. It's got the statues. It's got the fireplace here. I had to come here at night because, you know, that's where they were in the movie, and I just really hope no Nazgul come and attack me. I said I hope no Nazgul come and attack me. Oh, right, there's no mod that adds them in as enemies. I really wish there was. Alright, so we're gonna just show off their fighting skills again. I found a bandit hideout here with the Uruk-hai bandits, so, you know, I'm gonna get that right this time. And they're kind of rushing in. Looks like Boromir and Frodo are taking charge. And you can see some of the other Uruk-hai armor here. And Boromir's just standing there. Okay, there we go. He's doing something now. Here's another just orc grunt fighting them. Sam's gonna step up to the plate, take a swing at it, and Pippin's gonna come up and stab him in the back. Kind of surprised it wasn't Merry. He has a tendency to do that. And you know that, wow, they cleared out the camp really well. So normally there's also a chief or a bandit chief here. Oh yeah, there we go. And so you can see yet another helmet for the Uruk-hai, and I'll let them take them out. Mr. Frodo, you got this. I want you to kill that saber-toothed lion. Come on, Mr. Frodo. Come on, Mr. Frodo. Oh no, it's just useless Frodo from the movies. Alright guys, we have one final mod to look at today. And it doesn't do a whole lot. It's a little anticlimactic to end the mods off on, but it is the Erebor retexture of Markarth. So anyone who's played Skyrim knows that the city of Markarth is one of the other capital cities. It is built around and out of a previous dwarven city, and unlike Whiterun, it is not a direct reference to The Hobbit, how that was a direct reference to Lord of the Rings, but there's definitely similarities here, and the creator of this mod definitely saw them. Now, as you see, it really doesn't add much outside of just retexturing all the stonework to make it this more emerald green color, which I'll admit really makes it pop, and it does look, it looks really pretty as you're walking around, so it doesn't do much, but it's a nice little aesthetic. The Erebor retexture mod also affects every dwarven ruin in the game, so every Dwemer dungeon basically has this new revamped green color scheme, so it looks really nice. Yeah, I'm just recording the last thing that I need. No, it's one of the nice Easter eggs in the game, so... Or, Hobbit Easter eggs. We're gonna go on, and what the heck is that? Wait. Okay, let's... Okay. Okay, this has to go in the video now. Yeah, so I had no idea that one of these mods was going to add freaking Sauron into the game. I still don't know what mod it is, but probably scarier than that, I don't know where he went. I came back and he was gone. It kind of feels like, you know, whenever you step on a spider and he's not there and he's disappeared and you don't know where he went. So, yeah, I'm a little scared right now, but we're just going to forget about that. And we're going to talk about the final Lord of the Rings Easter egg in this, in this video. And it's honestly more of a reference to The Hobbit than The Lord of the Rings. So right now we are down here in Blackreach, which is this big underground cave expanse that has a dwarven city on it. Now you just saw me shout at that giant orb in the sky. Well, if you do that, then you will trigger a dragon to spawn and start attacking you. We're about to see him in just a minute, but that dragon has like a reddish orangey color scheme. And obviously it's down here living in a dwarven city. And if you can't put two and two together, it is a clear reference to the dragon Smaug from the Hobbit book. I guess it's also a movie, but at the time this game came out, it was still a book, and we kind of just don't talk about the movies. So I'm going to go and finish off that dragon real quick, and that's pretty much going to conclude this video. I did not intend for this video to be as long as it ended up being. We're sitting at almost 20 minutes now. And if you watched all the way through, thank you for the views. I'm surprised you didn't have anything better to do with your life, but I appreciate it. And, well, we haven't even covered all of the Lord of the Rings mods that I got to make this video. There's so much more that I want to go over, but we just don't have time for it because I don't want to make like a 45-minute long video. So I'm probably going to have a part 2 that'll come out maybe in a couple days, maybe in a week. I'm not exactly sure. But if you're interested in seeing that part 2 video, I recommend subscribing to the channel. Hit that bell icon so you can stay notified. If you enjoyed it, leave a like. And let me know what you thought of this kind of very different video structure. Like I said, I've never really made a video like this before, but if you enjoyed hearing my voice and some of my commentary, let me know. I'd love to do some more videos like it, maybe even some Let's Plays later down the line. But in the meantime, I think I'm going to go ahead and call it quits. So I will see you all in the next video.